You face a challenge. We all face challenges. Like whatever you do in this world, you have to come to some hurdles that will either teach you more about who you are or just more about life. And in this video, I want to share some of these challenges that I've found in my own journey as a creative. Things that I'm learning to actually overcome, things that I'm coming to terms with, that I feel that you as a creative will be able to use in a better way. Hey, my name is Kamga and I'm a creative. I'm also a husband, a writer, and a poet. I mean, essentially, you have to be creative to do any of those three things. On this channel, I make videos about, storytelling and creativity and immigration because my passion is to help people tell the stories that only they can tell. I feel like every single person has a story that only they can tell. Like you were sent on this earth to experience this life, and only you can tell that story. I want to help you do that. So if this is something that you're interested in, subscribe on the channel, like the video, and let me know in the comment section if there's any topic about storytelling, writing, blogging, and other things. Like, poke around, see some of the videos, and then tell me if there's something that I've not brought up, something that you disagree with, that I would help you, let's figure this thing out together. Challenges as a creative. There are many challenges. I was raised in Cameroon. I was born in Cameroon. I moved here last year. And being a creative is not exactly a career path that parents would be, happy about. It's like, why don't I be an engineer or doctor? Or that's really like one of the biggest challenges, like the whole society. Even here in the US, society is like, yeah, what do you do for a living? I'm a writer. No. What do you actually do for a living? It's like people just assume that you cannot make a living as a writer. Like that's one challenge, the financial aspects of it. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about some of those challenges on my journey, like on your journey, when you've decided that, you know what, I'm going to do this no matter what. I'm going to pursue this journey. I'm going to find a way to do it. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to work 2 jobs. I'm going to write on the side. I'm going to wake up early. When you've decided this is your journey, here are some of the things that you might face because of the things that I faced. First one, separating myself from my creations. That is still a big problem. I don't know about other people. I don't know if you have advice for me on this, but one thing that I've actually been able to learn how to do better is to actually, forget about it. One of the challenges is you write this thing, right? You make this poem, you make this really cool video, and somebody says it sucks. And then instead of understanding, actually the video sucks, all what you take is that is you. And it makes sense. If you have any friends who are creative, if you're creative yourself, you would understand that people like us, our self-worth is really tied in what we do. We think about these things, we put them down on paper, we're expressing ourselves. The work is literally who we are. So when somebody says your work sucks, the person is essentially saying that you suck. And I don't have a fix for this. Like, I don't know how to walk through it, but there's something about understanding, trying to make, be conscious about it. Just knowing that your work is not you. It's true, your work is an expression of who you are. The goal as a writer usually is that you want people to be able to recognize your voice as a writer. So that voice comes from you actually tapping into that part of you that is uniquely you. That's why I'm very strong proponent of telling your stories, because that's how you find those stories that only you can tell, by telling them. So one challenge that I'm still working on that might never go away, but I'm getting better at, is separating myself from the work that I do. The second one is to be able to not think about the audience when I'm creating. What does that mean? When I'm writing, I don't know about you, when I'm making things, if I think too much about the person who's going to read it, I don't make a good, I don't create something that works. Like if on Medium, for example, you're thinking about curation, you're like, okay, what would the editors like? What would the people like? Is it going to like this sentence? There's a tendency that there are two extremes. If you think too much about what people want, you don't create what you could create. You don't create what works. You don't create what is uniquely you, because you're catering to all these opinions that are not your opinions. And if you come to this other extreme and you think only about what you want and you create only what you want, that might end up being just a thing that you're just self-serving, self-centered, nobody cares about it. So I think where I'm at right now is finding that place where I can create without thinking about the audience, where it's like, I want to do the best work I can do. How can I help whoever is going to read this? And create, where when I do it now and I didn't like it, it's like, all right, cool, I did my job. That's one difficulty, which is stopping myself from thinking about the audience while I'm doing it. So this is a video about challenges, so I'm not giving any solutions. If you want to think of any solutions, let me know if it's something that you'd be interested in. This is just those difficulties. I'm trying to find out if, you and I are on the same wavelength about difficulties that we have, so that maybe I can make videos about how to solve those problems. Yeah. Number 3, I made a video where I talked about the writing process and some of the things that I wish I knew I would be doing for 2019, where I talk about separating the writing. So you have the idea, the editing, the draft, the feedback out, publishing, feedback in, where it's this loop process that enables you to actually go through the writing process, realizing that writing is not just one thing. Basically, I said writing is one thing, like writing, but it's also many things, like all those parts of the writing process. And I'm not even including the marketing and social media marketing and traditional publishing. Like that one is a whole different ballgame. When one difficulty that I'm facing as a creator, is to be able to separate those processes. When I'm creating, I need to stop editing. When I'm editing, I need to stop creating, or at least I need to create, put out the words, the first draft, the first version of the video, and then now edit later on, and then be able to do, flip between those two when required. Because one thing that I'm learning how to do better now, which I think you should pay attention to, which can, bleed into other aspects of your life, is attention switching, code switching, something about switching attention. One thing that I'm learning to do is, or to pay attention to, is the fact that, say when you're checking your phone, you're texting, and then you're making, say you're having a phone call, like you're doing all these multiple tasks. When you switching from one task to the next actually takes a lot of energy from your brain. You want to be able to do one thing and finish doing nothing and then move to the next. For example, today I decided to shoot a couple of videos for my YouTube channel. I shot only videos. I did not edit anything. I did not record anything. I literally had my notes yesterday, took down the notes, prepared the outline for the videos, and then today I decided to shoot the videos. So you might notice that a lot of these videos look the same. Maybe not, I don't know. Let me know if you notice anything, if you can see the videos. Actually, I'll give you a price if you see the videos, which ones are the similar ones. Anyway, when you're creating, you don't want to edit. And when you're editing, you may or may not want to create. The point is, when you're putting out that first draft, one difficulty that I'm facing right now is to be able to stay in that place of I am creating, I'm not editing. So you don't censor yourself, you don't try to fix sentences, you don't try to even correct auto. Like, there are ways to do that, and I don't know if you're interested in it, I'll talk about them later on. But this video is just talk about challenges. The next one, big challenge, capturing ideas. So I have a bunch of notebooks. I have like physical notebooks with notes and things I've written since like 2004. Journals, diary entries, lines that I think are really cool lines, quotes that are for characters in books that I'm writing. Like, capturing ideas is one challenge that I don't think will ever go away. Where it's like, that's why I always have my phone. I used to think I was addicted to my phone, which I may be, but I realized like when I don't have something to capture my ideas, I will freak out. Like, if I get an idea and I think it's a good idea, I cannot sit down and start writing the article. Say I'm hanging out with my wife. It's like one day we have for the week free, and I'm like, oh no, I have this good idea, I need to go and write it now. Like, no, she's not going to find that funny in any way. So what I do is I take out my phone and I write the idea. This video, for example, I had the ideas yesterday and I wrote the idea, outlined it, like this is what we talk about, this is what we talk about, this is what we talk about, and then I left it. Capturing ideas is a challenge that I feel every creative has, and that's why we always need systems. We need to find a way to actually capture ideas. Whether you're using Evernote, I love Evernote. I use Evernote and actually pay for it because I wanted to have it on all my devices. And pen and paper actually always works. Like, if you have a notebook that you literally carry around, you can have a small notebook that you carry around, and that's all you do. Like, when you have an idea, write it down there. The good thing about having those ideas or collecting it is you never run out of things to write about. James Altucher, I think I also does this thing where they write in ideas on a daily basis. It's a thing that people do because writing is not just one thing. It's one thing and it's many things. So having those ideas so that when you want to sit down and write, you don't have to start looking at, okay, what do I do? Where am I? The last one point, dealing with negative feedback. It almost ties with the whole, separating yourself from your work, because one thing as a creative, like I said earlier, your work almost becomes an extension of you. So when somebody says your work sucks, or that it's terrible, or that is, it's not good enough, there's this feeling like, oh my God, I'm so terrible. I don't want to write anymore. I'm the worst writer ever. It doesn't have to be that. And it's something that I still work on. Sometimes, actually, the point was dealing with negative feedback and all crickets. Because negative feedback is not just people actually coming to say, I hate this work. Sometimes negative feedback is nobody saying anything. You put this post, you've written for hours, you've done the idea, editing, draft, all the things, you've done nothing. Nobody likes it, nobody reads, nobody comments, nobody shares. Yeah, that is hurtful as a creative. That is a thing that, yeah, it's, you need to learn how to do it. You need to learn how to do it. And the final one, which still sort of ties to the first one, dealing with positive feedback. This is one challenge that I've had, which as I'm working on my identity, my whole self and what I think about myself, I'm learning how to do it better. Because when you start getting better at the whole writing thing on YouTube and podcasts, you will get people saying, you know what, you're actually really good with words. You are good at this thing. You should, continue this thing. This is great. I'm encouraging you. I love you. I'll pray for you. Like, you will get people who actually care about you. It's easy to focus on the negatives. I think that's what we do. We easily just gravitate to like, this is bad, this is terrible, you're a terrible writer. But what happens when I tell you you're a good writer? Like, it's easy for it to go to your head. And then you stop improving. You stop practicing deliberately. You stop learning and taking courses and reading books. it's easy to hang on that positive feedback and then think you've arrived. And that's a challenge that I'm always trying to remind myself, like, yo, bro, you have not arrived. You may never arrive. The goal is forever. It's something that I feel we need to keep in mind. One of the challenges as creatives, like, you need to know that this may not end. Like, not even made. This whole process of learning and growing and iteration is not going anywhere. You're not going to stop and then kind of arrive. Like, even Stephen King is still releasing a book. Lady wrote Handmaid's Tale. Margaret Atwood is still releasing a book. Like, successful writers are still writing. So who am I to think that I have arrived? But hey, that's the thing. So I hope you like this video. I don't know if there's any more challenges. Let me know in the comment section if you have challenges that I haven't mentioned. I think there's just, just like 5 challenges. And this is not, I'm not talking about how to fix them. But if you are interested in me fixing them, I just sound like I know what I'm talking about. If you are interested in a video where I give my ideas on what I think could be useful for you to walk through these things, let me know in the comment section. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Please subscribe. And one thing that you can do for me today to help me overcome these challenges, share this video with somebody. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.